Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. We're here in nature. 7 things you never knew about ancient Egypt. Hotep. I love Egypt. I've been there twice. A fascinating place. I love the energy emanating from there. And a lot of people who have gone to Egypt, they come back and they're different. Totally transformed. A great awakening experience. And there is so much to learn about the mysteries of ancient Egypt and what they left for us. I know it's a place where great masters have walked. And they're still walking. I hope so.
In ancient times, the notion of a single, supremely evil being simply didn't exist. I'm Kara Cooney, an Egyptologist on a worldwide quest. I look at human behavior, both past and present, through the lens of ancient Egypt. And the more I travel the world, the more similarities I see. Exploring why we are who we are often leads me out of Egypt.
The ancient Egyptians worshipped a complex menagerie of gods. Some male, some female, some were even animals like falcons, crocodiles, and baboons. But there was no single god of love or of war, and there was no supernatural being representing good or evil.
The devil as we know him first entered human history less than 3,000 years ago. He appeared about the same time that people began to worship a single god. Earlier religions, including the ancient Egyptian religion, were based upon a belief in many gods, complex gods who could either do good or cause harm. But it's here in the ancient religions where the roots of the modern devil lie. The site of Nagada on the west bank of the Nile dates back nearly 5,000 years. Here, the ancient Egyptians built a temple dedicated to Seth, who's always depicted with the head of a weird mythical animal. Seth was the god of the desert, darkness, storms, and chaos. On the face of it, he shares certain qualities we associate with the devil. And the story of Seth would seem to bear this out. According to the myth, Seth was jealous of his brother Osiris. So he trapped Osiris, murdered him, and cut his body into dozens of pieces. But even after this terrible deed, the ancient Egyptian people thought of Seth as violent, but not evil. And although he was feared, he was also worshipped. The ancient Egyptians actually built temples in his honor. Today, only ruins remain.
People journeyed to this temple to make offerings to one of the most dangerous and powerful gods in the Egyptian pantheon. This might seem like strange behavior to us today. Can you imagine openly building a temple dedicated to Satan? But the relationships between people and gods was different in ancient Egypt, and so were the gods themselves.
ancient Egyptians used powerful symbols in their everyday lives. The Ankh, the symbol of life, also the masculine and the feminine intertwined, lower and higher energy, also the Uraeus, which is a serpent, which you will find on the head of the pharaohs. And that is a symbol of actually the Kundalini energy rising, a symbol of the DNA, pineal activation. But many of us, we're afraid of snakes. Uh-oh, watch out. But it's all about illumination. So we should not be afraid of the serpent. We should see that we have to raise the Kundalini energy to reach higher consciousness. And that's what they knew. Number 6 would be the pentad, the pentagram, an Egyptian symbol for the underground womb, a hieroglyph which means the sacred carving. It is beautiful. Starfish. Don't you just love starfish? I do. Cut an apple open and you will see the pentagram. Many of us, we feel it's a negative symbol. It was even the symbol of the witch's foot. But this symbol is a symbol of life in its truest form. Hip hip, hooray. Number 12 would be the caduceus. This is the rod, the staff, and it has wings too. This was carried by Hermes, the Greek god of commerce. And I love this symbol because it shows the two serpents, which are a representation of the male and female energy. The energies intertwine. It's also a symbol of hidden knowledge, the supernatural, equilibrium. And this was a symbol of Asclepius, the Greek god of medicine. The ancient Native American wisdom, and that how they had this land connection. They were connected with the earth. And many of us on this planet right now, we are disconnected from earth. Therefore, we don't know our true life purpose. When we talk of purpose,
you unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.